Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Friday. Hooray! April 12th, 2019. My name's Jeremy. And this is my first cup of coffee. It's in a bunny mug. Mm. I may have overdone it this week in the gym. I'm feeling kind of banged up. It's a good feeling, but it's not at the same time, right? Like when it hurts to stand up, that might be a little much. Try not to do that. But I've been excited to get after it, so it's alright. I'll figure it out. Probably go for a walk today. Take it easy. Recover. Maybe take a nap. I'm looking at my eyes on camera and just saying I may need more rest. Yeah. So, what was yesterday? Yesterday was a consulting day. Today, I am in the office all day, plugging through a bunch of work, including dealing with the paperwork for a new member of Team Whistlekick. Michael will be making an announcement for that. Actually, I don't know. We haven't made announcements for the other people. We'll have to see. Why work? Why just work? You know? Hopefully go to Campo tonight. I don't see why I can't. What else? What else going on? Yesterday's episode on weapons got a decent amount of traffic, a little bit more than I'm used to on a early on a Thursday. And I think that's because there were some people who really enjoy weapons training and they shared it. So that was cool. I like when people share episodes. It's one thing to acknowledge something on social media, hit the like button. It's another for someone to listen, but it says even more to me when someone shares it. Because it means, hey, this is something I think other people should care about or might be interested in. And that takes effort. And it puts your reputation at stake. And if someone's willing to stake their reputation behind content that we made, that's pretty cool. A couple questions came in. First one, pretty easy. Do I have a nose ring? Sure do. It's right there. I've had that since 2007. I also have my ears pierced. I used to have pierced up there, but I let those go. Because, I don't know. It was time. I pierced my ears in college. I did both the lobes, and then I did that one, and then I did that one. Because I wanted them to match. So, and then the other question that came in is, with regards to martial arts radio, the podcast that we do, would you ever have Bolo Yeung on? And the answer is yes, absolutely yes. Heck yes. In fact, I've reached out to him, tried to get him on the show. For those of you that don't know who Bolo Yeung is, his most famous role, at least for me, is in Enter the Dragon as the big jacked villain kind of guy. And that's, I mean, when I think of Bolo Yeung, that's kind of been his career, is playing the very jacked villain in a number of martial arts movies. There was a Van Damme movie he was in. Was it The Quest? Was that him? I'm trying to remember. He's always this badass, jacked dude who kills everybody. Kills all the minor characters. And then he almost kills the hero, and then in the end the hero kills him or something. So, but he's huge. He's an exceptionally, or No, I've seen more recent pictures. He's still exceptionally muscular. Would love to have him on. He's on the list. We'll reach out again. Getting movie stars is tough. As we get more and more famous people on the show, it's made it a little bit easier to get other famous people, but there are certain people who just don't care. For example, I don't think we could present Jackie Chan a list long enough that that would be a factor for him. Maybe Chuck Norris. One of my goals is that we interview all of Chuck Norris's co-competitors from the 60s, and then he says, fine, I'll do it. That's what I imagine will work. But there are a few people we have to get that I've been working on. They're on the list. We keep reaching out. We're trying. People ask me about the success of martial arts radio and how. And honestly, it's just persistence. It's being stubborn. It's willing to get a little better, to refine what's going on, and to just find some opportunity for improvement. And it's been that for over 4 years. And that's what's made it better. That's what's helped get bigger guests. It's what's helped the numbers grow. So whatever you're doing, sometimes progress doesn't happen linearly. Sometimes it doesn't happen as quickly as you think it would. I'm trying to remember who was it? It might be Eric Thomas. If you don't know Eric Thomas, a wonderful motivational speaker. He's got a ton of stuff here on YouTube. I think he's the one that said success takes 10 times longer than you ever think it would. And if you look at the numbers of martial arts radio, it's not this, the listeners aren't this linear growth. It's flat, and then all of a sudden it jumps, and then it's flat again. And I don't understand why, but it just seems to happen that way. And that's happened like 3 times over the last 4 years. And honestly, our numbers have been flat for probably a year. And if I focus on that, it's depressing. So what do I focus on? I focus on how the show benefits me. I get to talk to these people. I get to get better at improvisational conversation. I get to get better at getting these people scheduled and dealing with the logistics and dealing with people who talk in different ways. If you listen to martial arts radio, you hear that once in a while we get someone who is not really a good conversationalist. And I have to get better. I have to step up to help them. Is that always fun for me? No, but it's part of my job. It's part of my role. And I accept that and I embrace that because it makes me better. I don't know what the future has in store. I was pretty honest. I wanted AMC to start a post Into the Badlands talk show, and I wanted to host it. But now Badlands is in its last season. Maybe Warrior will get huge and they'll do something like that on Cinemax. I don't know where this talent will take me. I don't know if I should call it a talent, because I wasn't good at it to start with. Skill. I don't know where this skill will take me. But I like talking to people. So. And I think that that's an important thing to realize, is that sometimes the work that you're putting in to develop the skill is not for the sake of that skill. It's for a skill later on, or it's for a job later on. It's a building block. I'm trying to think of the best analogy, and the best one I have is If you don't know that when concrete is poured, quite often they will, the people doing the concrete will lay in these big iron bars, rebar, to help hold it together. Especially if there's something that they're connecting, like walls, like a foundation, like walls to the floor. Once the house is built or whatever it is, you never see that rebar. But that rebar is critical. It's there. Not only was it necessary initially, it continues to be necessary, and you can't extract it. I think a lot of the skills that we learn are like that. A lot of the things that we learn in martial arts are like that, that they might be simple and boring and take a lot of time. I don't know if rebar takes a lot of time. I'm assuming it does. Everything building a house seems to take a lot of time. But without it, what you would have wouldn't be nearly as solid or beneficial or enjoyable or whatever. So appreciate that process. Be willing to build the skills that you might need later. There's no overnight success in martial arts or anything. I want to answer your questions. I want to answer more of your questions. Leave them below. Comment below. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. I do this show every 6:30 a.m. Eastern right here on YouTube. Of course, you can catch it later on the podcast feed. Now, if you're someone who only listens on the podcast, come check out a video once in a while. You can see me sit in a bathrobe and drink coffee. It's exciting. You can look over my, let's see, to you, that's my, does that look like my left shoulder? Yeah. Over my left shoulder, you can see trophies that I won at tournaments in the 80s. What else can you see? A map of the world. And my bald head. That's what you get. But of course, if it's more convenient for you, or you prefer, podcast feed is just fine. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you might find podcasts, you should find First Cup. And of course, firstcupwithjeremy.com. That's an option too. What else? That's it. I hope you have a good weekend. I don't know if I have any martial arts stuff going on this weekend, which is an uncommon occurrence. But I hope you have a great day and a great weekend.